525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments so dear, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. In 525,600 minutes, how do you measure a year in the life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love. 525,600 minutes. 525,000 journeys to plan. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure the life of a woman or a man? In truth that she learned, or in times that he cried, in bridges he burned, or the way that she died. It's time now to sing out, though the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember a year in the life of friends. Remember the love. Remember the love. Remember the love. Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love. 525,600 minutes. 525,000 moments so dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in minutes, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. In 525,600 minutes, how do you measure a year in the life? Remember the love. Remember the love. Remember the love. Measuring
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, but let's please give them one more round of applause. That was excellent. This time, I would like to invite our 2021 Salutatorian, Mr. Tanner Marlowe, to the podium to deliver the Salutatorian address.
Good evening. All the way from up here. First, I want to thank God. I could have not made it through any hardship without his guiding hand, nor could I have had the energy I had all throughout high school without him. The only reason why I could be happy was through the joy, hope, and purpose he gave me. Secondly, I want to thank my family. Thank y'all for giving me more than I can ask for. I don't have enough time to explain the gratitude I have for all the things that y'all have done for me. I know that everybody doesn't get the same privilege. Thirdly, I want to thank my friends and community. Thank y'all for the memories I will keep for a lifetime. Without y'all, my life would be dull. Without my community, I wouldn't have learned kindness, gentleness, and compassion at work. Thank y'all for adding happiness and knowledge to my everyday life and lifting me up when I'm down. As of now, there are 320 million American robins. With every egg, another generation of robins go into the world. But the process from egg to bird often goes overlooked. When the robin is going to lay eggs, the robin prepares herself in the nest for the baby. When the robin is ready to drop their eggs, the robin goes to their nest, drops the eggs, and sits on them. The mother goes through 2 harsh weeks to protect her eggs from whatever harm, rain, snow, hail, wind that may come. She sees the potential in her eggs, and she protects them with her life. After the 2-week period, the eggs hatch, and the frail baby weeps. These babies are small, innocent, and defenseless without the aid of their mother. What does the mother do? The mother takes the babies under her wing and pushes harder to provide for their growing needs. For the babies, they are subject to the confines of their nest to protect them from the world they were born into. They aren't concerned about what is below them or how high they are off the ground. They just live and know that mother has got it under control. By now, the birds can see outside the nest. The birds can see and have ideas of what is to come. The babies begin to shift away from their mother. These birds don't want to see their mother who brought them life, food, comfort, love, and existence anymore. They have no idea what she had done for them, and without her, they would be nothing. But the mother continues to bring food to the babies who lack love and have growing needs. The ideas of the ground have been blossoming in the babies' minds. These babies begin to think what it's like to be on the ground. When the mother is gone, the new babies will grow in curiosity, jump on the limbs, and try to fly. But the bird flaps its wings and tries, but hits the ground. Dizzied, the bird hits the ground and tries to fly again. Flap, 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 nothing. On the newly discovered ground, lost. The bird's perspective has changed, and his preconceived ideas of the ground were disproved and now made anew. They are hungry, but mom is not around. They are on the ground now. They need someone to be their guide. They are alone, lost, scared, discouraged, helpless. But even through this, these birds, afraid and willing, will conjure up the work and learn how to live in the new world they have been placed in. They will act quickly. They will use what they have been given and utilize it for their future. This is how a bird lives, and this is how a bird survives. This story sounds familiar. As of now, there are 328 million Americans living in America. Every child is born into a world where they grow up, they have to take the torch of the previous generation. But the process of baby to adult often goes overlooked. When a woman is expecting, she prepares a way for her new motherly self and her coming baby. Upon time of birth, the mother rushes to the hospital for extensive, excruciating hours, all for her newborn. She feels the potential of her baby's life, and she will protect it with all she has. Once born, the mother will birth the child, and the child comes into the new world. The baby is small, helpless, and defenseless without the aid of its mother. What does the mother do? The mother takes the baby under her wing and nourishes, provides, and protects her baby relentlessly for early years. And for the baby, they are subject to the confines of their house, not seeing what the world they were born into. They're kept away from knowing or feeling the world's problems. Their innocence is untouched. The baby matures and becomes more needy, and the mother pushes to keep up. But now, the baby is not a baby. They're young adult, and the world starts to become more known. Things have changed. The young adults no longer want to see their mother who brought them life, food, comfort, love, and existence anymore. These young adults ignore all the mother has sacrificed for their well-being. They no longer look to their mother and her advice, but to the future and the world's advice. They have no idea what she bore for them, and without her, they would be nothing. They replace her with friends and her love with substance. But the mother's love remains unchanged, and she continues the same, even though her love is no longer reciprocated. The ideas of the world have been blossoming in the young adults' minds. The idea that they have their own mind, the idea that they can do it all themselves, the desire for their own freedom, their own life. It doesn't matter what mom thinks. She isn't around to check on me. It's my life. I can do what I want. They begin to grow in their desired freedom and leave into the world. The babies go into the world, try this job, try that job, take this chance, lose that chance. They try and try and try and make ends meet, but nothing. They hit the ground dizzied and realize they have nothing figured out. Their preconceived ideas of the world were different when they actually stepped into it. They didn't know the world was so dark, mean, and soulless. They're seen as a number in the crowd, not as a person with existence. This is not what the babies wanted or expected. They want to go back to the house with the protected walls and provided food. No worries, no hate, no division, no sadness. They cry out to mother. They want her nest. They want her walls of seclusion and rest. But even through this, the adults, afraid and willing, will conjure up enough work and learn how to live in the new world they have been given. They will use what they have been given and utilize it for their future. They shall use what knowledge that has been passed down, the experiences that they have had, and the people that they have encountered. They will use it not as their legacy, but as a foundation. Class of 2021. This school is nothing but a foundation for the future. We shall not look at these 4 years and reflect on them for the rest of our lives. We put our skills into action and become functioning bodies. We will not dance on a foundation waiting for it to be a house. We will strive for new heights and break walls never broken before. This next stage in life, you will make an impact. You won't sit back and watch it happen. You will act in it. You will take this foundation and turn it into a skyscraper. Are we going to use our lives to hate the other side, or are we going to create peace? Will we contribute to outlets of hate for more to hear? Do we act to divide or bring together? Are we going to advocate for a better way of living, or just stay in the same place? What do you want our future to be like? Let us be a generation, be a solution. In the words of Rocky Balboa, let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much can you take and keep moving forward? That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. That ain't you. You're better than that. This is not just survival. This is life. Are you ready to fly? Thank you.
Thank you, Tanner. Now I'd like to welcome our 2021 Valedictorian, Miss Emma Wolf, to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say thank you for being here. It's really hot, so I'm with you. For those of you who know me, you know I do everything at the last minute. So let's just say this speech was no exception. But this time, I'd like to think I had more of a reason for procrastinating. I've been trying to think of what I wanted to say, and the one thing I did know was that I was not going to give the traditional cheesy graduation speech. You know, the ones you see in the movies like Twilight or Legally Blonde. I've spent weeks thinking about what I would write, but it always comes back to the same thing. I realized there's a reason that most people give that classic inspirational speech. So a week before graduation, I finally came to terms with the fact that I'm writing one of those speeches. It's been very hard to give in, but I realize that that's just the part of our lives that we're in right now. I can't lie. During these past few weeks, the reality hasn't quite set in, and I haven't found myself very emotional, until I went to say goodbye to Coach Adams last Wednesday. He showed me an excerpt from his book, one about finding the perfect goodbye. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing, but there was something about these words I was reading that really stuck with me. He spoke about how we build up so much momentum for moments like these, but when they come to an end, we're left with a feeling that something went unfinished, unsaid. We struggle to find a proper goodbye. I don't know about the rest of you, but I know I've struggled with the thought of saying goodbye. Goodbye to the people that I grew up with. Goodbye to my hometown. Goodbye to all the wonderful people that I've met over the last 4 years. With that being said, I'd like to remind you of some of the good things that came from Chelsea High School. For me, it's the small things that I appreciate and remember. The numerous sporting events and dinner with friends that always followed after. Going to prom the day before COVID shut down. Looking in my rearview mirror almost every morning to see Cade driving behind me, also running extremely late for school. Group FaceTime calls attempting to finish mountains of homework. Jamie greeting me sarcastically every morning without fail. Sitting in Miss Acton's room after school, stressing over my college essays and scholarships. Nelson never failing to make me laugh with his one-of-a-kind sense of humor, ambassador parties and field trips where I got to work with some of the best people, and I can't forget about some of the most wonderful teachers who made my high school experience unforgettable. These are just a few of the things that bring a smile to my face, none of which would have happened without Chelsea High School. This class has undoubtedly been through their fair share of uncertainty, especially this past year. Our senior year definitely didn't look the way that I think we all imagined it, but together we made the best of it, and we made it to this day. So on that note, I would like to thank each and every person here for making my high school experience unforgettable. I may not have the perfect goodbye right now, but I know one thing is for sure. I'm going to miss this. So to the class of 2021, congratulations, and remember to hold on to moments like these.
Thank you, Emma. So good evening, and once again, I want to welcome everyone to the Chelsea High School graduation ceremony. It's always a true privilege for me to address our senior class on such a grand occasion. This class is particularly special, however, mainly based on the challenges that they've endured and the ones that they've ultimately overcome. A few weeks ago, I was asked to provide some remarks about the class of 2021. And I thought of 3 words: resiliency, hope, and action. We can all point to the many ways in which we've been resilient: distancing, masks, isolations, quarantines, uncertainty, different forms of learning. They've all been hallmarks of the past year. Sometimes disappointments and limitations regarding some of our normally held events have been really big adjustments for you to make, and you had to accept them and you overcame them. And even tragically, some of us have experienced sickness and even grief as a result of our worldwide health crisis. But through it all, you've been resilient. And more importantly, throughout that, you maintained hope. And it's through hope that you found a way. You turned negatives into positives and ultimately accomplished so much through your attitude of believing that better days were ahead, and you embraced that as a life challenge. It's really been enjoyable to watch this feeling of hope grow organically from you and collectively as you've made the best of difficult situations. So you've certainly been resilient, and you've helped to come through it with hope. But more importantly, and perhaps most importantly, I want to focus on the action that is now required of each and every one of you sitting here tonight. Because it's not where you've been, it's about where you're going. You've endured and you've reached the finish line of high school. But now's your chance to take what you've learned and make a valuable contribution to the lives of those around you and beyond. I'm always excited for graduates. I'm always actually a little bit envious of graduates because you have your whole life ahead of you. You have so much positivity that's ahead of you. And you're entering a stage in life in which you're going to start to further develop your values and your personal standards and to figure out how you're going to make your mark on the world. Recently, I had a discussion with a friend of mine about an article that we read. It was discussing how a major university on the Eastern Coast was doing away with its literary classics department. And if you don't know, those are where courses are taught in which some of the works of the great thinkers in the history of our collective civilization are taught and discussed in relation to modern times and the modern discourse. We both agreed that this was tragic. And as the writer of the article, Dr. Cornell West, argued, said we will negate the opportunity for students to examine fundamental questions about one's ability to live more purposefully, develop our values, and emphasize deep thought over superficial matters. And to use his words, studying those texts will allow us to strengthen our intellectual and moral resources so that we can create human beings of courage, vision, and civic virtue. And of particular note, all of those activities relate to our stated values of learning, service, and character. And whether you have read these authors or not, sincere reflection of who you are, what you stand for, and what you want to become are keys to the personal growth that lie ahead of you. In our discussion, My colleague wrote some words in an email. I only wish that I would have wrote them because I thought they were so poignant and so appropriate for you guys tonight. And he said the following. He said, kids who want to learn don't need pandering mirrors that celebrate their limited selves. They need windows onto staggering views and dizzying heights that challenge them to become far more. And folks, that's my challenge to you. Each of you have goals and dreams, and they're all in front of you for the taking. Plan, embrace them, and commit the action necessary to see them through. Don't settle for the norm. Don't accept a limited view of yourself and what you can achieve. Dare to become the best you can be, and in so doing, you'll bring about a better world for you and those that will be fortunate enough to be around you. In closing, I want to thank you for this year. Y'all are a remarkable group of young people, and I sincerely mean that. I count it a true joy and privilege to be your principal, and I wish you the greatest of success in all facets of your life. Godspeed as you embark and continue on your journey. I'm proud of you, and I look forward to your contributions. Thank you. And at this time, the place is not where it should be. All right. Before the presentation of diplomas, we want to remind friends and families of our graduates to hold their applause until all of the seniors' names have been read. We believe that each one of these young men and women deserve the dignity and honor to hear his or her name and receive the diploma in an appropriate manner. Graduation is an important and formal ceremony. On behalf of the class of 2021, I respectfully ask you to show your pride and support for these outstanding students by refraining from noise during the presentation of diplomas. Now, once again, I would like to ask Ms. Maggie Bradford, president of the senior class, to join me at the podium.
Will the class of 2021 please stand? Dr. Turner, I now present the class of 2021 as candidates for graduate.
I accept the presented class of 2021 as candidates for graduation from Chelsea High School. Please be seated.
Emma Denise Wolf. Tanner Riley Marlowe. Nelson Hernan Serrano. Kelsey Renee Wood. Caden Avery Weldon. Kirsten Adele David. Claire Emma Newberger. Ryan Edward Engel. Michael Cole Kennedy. Olivia Ray Berger. Charles Houston Cowart. Lily Carter Garrett. Madeline Elizabeth Smith. McKinley Ashlyn Baird. Taylor Ashley Gentle. William Nathan Lee. Reagan Noel Plemons. Rachel Shea Johnson. Cade Donovan Kirkendall. Haley Elizabeth Duca. Molly Hayes LaHue. Alexis Taylor Green. Riley Morgan Abston. Lauren Ann Thompson. Charles Preston Royster. Collier Allen Blair. Jordan Riley Mann. Samuel Earl Niven III. Erica Nicole Cloutier. Colin Clark Rigor. Brooke Noel Fogel. Mackenzie Victoria Titus. Michael Alexander Brown. Luke Christian Bauer. Caroline Grace Moore. Savannah Grace Osborne. Jake Winston Bramblett. Christopher Warner Jones. Lauren Jillian Latham. Caroline Grace Jocelyn. Jamian Jerez Gandy. Caden Elise Ott. Adam Chase Reeves. Brianna Hope Parmley. Julie Marie Hartley. Katie Leanne Goss. Jasmine Renee Fisher. Chandler Stephen Pruitt. Emma Elizabeth Fleming. Angela Paige Howard. Allison Ray Ayers. Madison Ann Eddy. Caitlin Danielle Banker. Brandon Michael Roberts. Maggie Allison Bradford. Sydney Elise Schmier. Anna Grace Dunn. Molly Nicole Butts. Kaya Lane Whitfield. Bailey Elizabeth Nall. Alexander William Gage. Eli Richard Berg. Landry Francis Holt. Tyler Isabel Irwin. Emma Frances Brady. Rachel Elise Moore. Erin Elizabeth Acton. Jacob Stephen Adams. Taylor Olivia Allen. Alexander David Allison. Erilyn Melinda Alvarez. Reagan Elizabeth Anderson. Mason Lee Andrews. Miguel Antonio Aragon. Brady Thomas Arnett. Cade Michael Bailey. Morgan Claire Bailey. Colin Lee Baker. Connor Michael Ball. Harrison Clay Barber. Joshua Allen Bass. Marcy Mims Batson. Alexandria Nicole Bayless. Emily Margaret Bayless. Haley Kalina Bearden. Parker Allen Bedsole. Maya Elizabeth Bernard. Logan Bailey Beerlair. Donovan Michael Bivens. Alex Kendall Blackerby. Ava Grace Bosshart. Morgan Jacqueline Bowen. Lydia Grace Bauer. Natalie Kaylin Braden. Candace Nicole Brasher. Hayden Drake Lee Brazier. William Brody Bright. Charles Jackson Brown. Jaleel Samuel Brown. Justice Alden Brown. Carrie Michelle Brown. Trevor John Brown. Justin Tyler Bunyard. Adam Zachary Byerman. Jolene Elizabeth Cabe. Chad Michael Carboni. Hannah Elizabeth Carlisle. Mary Henley Carney. Hannah Camille Carver. Emma Lee Katniss. Margaret Kate Chapman. Alexandra Lane Chenault. Aiden Cheslock. Lillian Grace Christian. Ian Michael Cloutier. Bryce Anthony Collins. David Contreras. Cody Micah Cooper. Joshua Daniel Cotton. Robert Douglas Cox. Stacy Nicole Craven. Chelsea Diane Christ. Daniel Alfred Krausen III. Caitlin Raquel Davis. Maddox John Davis. Noah Garrett Davis. John Paul DeLorme. Colin Lancaster Dennis. Donald Evan Denson. Landon Matthew DiGiovanna. Austin Scott Dillon. Xander Cage Eccles. Riley Ash Edmiston. Hallie Reese Idson. Luis Vincent Escobar Jr. Kylie Jill Farrell. Ellen Mackenzie Fleming. Chandler Brock Forehand. Andrew Wayne Foster. Alexander Scott Francis. Anthony William Franklin. Joshua Allen Frederick. Carson Reese Freeman. Jasmine Renee Gaines Crawford. Trenton David Garner. McKenna Brooke Gerard. Joseph Jackson Garrett. Alkia Sluncio Bargay. Marquise Montez Gibbs Jr. Jalen Nicole Giddens. Laurel Alexia Gigas. Arabella Renee Gonzalez. Mark Christopher Gordon. Jabari Leonard Grant. Michaela Faith Gray. Alan James Griffith. Peyton Alexander Griffith. Holden Grant Griswold. Jeffrey Jacob Gross. Pierce Britton Hurst. Cal Eldon Gruber. Landon Carter Ganeri. Caitlin Renee Gurley. Peyton Glenn Harris. Abigail Meade Harvey. Jacob Mikhail Haywood. Alondra Hernandez. Abigail Marie Higdon. Brock Andrew Hill. Austin Skylar Hobbs. Lauren Grace Hodgins. Richard Alexander Holmes. Christian Philip Hood. Hunter Harley Hopkins. Ashley Elizabeth Horton. Haley Nicole Hubbard. William Roland Humphrey. Brindy Lynn Hunsaker. Christian Dakota Hunt. Andrew Beauregard Hunter. Layla Dawn Huxhold. Savannah Grace Ingram. Summer Alexis Jimenez. Amanda Lee Jordan. Madison Lee Jordan. Rebecca Sage Kesey. Colt Cannon Kelly. Cody Wayne Kendrick. Destiny Monet King. Charles Matthew Connect. Nicholas Andrew Connect. William Patrick Lartigue. Alexis Janae Bianca Leonard. Jeremiah Lewis. Patrick Joseph Loftus. Alyssa Danielle Lowe. Hassani Amir Lyons. Bryce Hugh Mabry. Tate Christian McNichol. Darnell LaRon Manuel. Alexis Justine Martin. Parker Ryan Martin. Diamond Danielle McCaleb. William Fox McGee. Jacob Watson McManus. Jackson Gregory McPhail. Elijah Jalen Meadows. Catherine Sloan Miller. Malachi Ramey Mitchell. Daniel Anthony Mitchum. Alexander Kemper Mock. Grayton Todd Molina. Emmanuel Latavius Moore. Jennifer Marino. Kaylin Victoria Morris. Nicholas Anthony Neves. Christopher Floyd Natuno. Kang Kent Sungan Nguyen. Mally Page Nichols. Christopher Cairo Jirage. Noah Michael Ockert. Thomas Seth O'Neill. Nikayla Janae Ott. Bailey Catherine Owenby. Phyllis Brooke Page. Jonas Allen Palmer. Kadri Alina Panter. Davis Hansford Parker. Andrew Wesley Parkinson. Lily Grace Pate. Ryan Dale Peterson. Kendall James Pino. Brett Poe. Zaria Jasmine Polk. Jackson Allen Powers. Lane Elizabeth Pugh. Nathan Jared Pugh. Kaylee Morgan Pyron. Hannah Aria Rabanal. Matthew Paul Reinsch. Sarah Catherine Reinsch. Colin Allen Rhodes. Juana Dianera Rincon Ramirez. Jacob Gartmore Ritchie. Shelby Faith Roberts. Jack Dylan Robertson. Shania Shaylin Robertson Arnold. Ava Catherine Robinson. Suella Joan Rogers. Carson Wimberly Rogers. Joshua Lane Roll. Natalie Grace Romager. Luis Ignacio Rowe. Tyler Isaiah Rucker. Corey Elijah Robinson. Amaya Elizabeth Rudolph. Gabriel Isaiah Ruffin. Reagan Nicole Rushing. Jariqua Faye Lily Sager. Fareed Feroz Samnani. Chaden Ty Sampson. Perla Karina Sanchez. Jackson Edward Sandridge. Jahir Santillan Mercado. Catherine Anayi Salcedo. Amber Trinae Scott. Natid Simitap. Hannah Margaret Shammy. Jenna Michelle Shihadi. Tobias Gabriel Shelfer. Brian Javon Sims. Roy Hayes Sims. Cameron K. Skiba. Avery Allen Sly. Holton Allen Smith. Nikayla Jamaica Smith. Madeline Elise Stevens. Isabella Grace Stockert. Devin Lynn Strazewski. Keely Nicole Strickland. Thomas Parker Shush. Carly Erin Taylor. Madeline Elizabeth Toma. Dylan Jabrell Thomas. Avery Grace Thompson. Joshua Aaron Tyndall. Taylor Ashlyn Toops. Alexander Joseph Trout. James Marshall Turns. Evan Robert Valentine. Connor Dylan Waddell. Maria Alejandra Waits. Joshua Drennan Walker. Lauren L. Wallace. Charles Hamilton Waller. Madeline Ann Waller. Elena Francis Ward. Jeremiah Isaiah Washington. Jackson Gray Webster. Alika Sydney Wells. Kendall Brooke Whaley. Richard Henry Whited III. Sarah Jean Whitfield. Carson Reese Wilder. Catherine Newell Wilkinson. Austin Keith Williams. Kristen Deanne Williams. Christina Dion Williams. Rylan Alexandria Williams. Zane Musa Williams. Logan Box Willis. William Corbett Wilson. Christian Hope Wright. Callie Alexis Wright. Athena Mikhail Youngblood.
Seniors, wait just one moment. Seniors, please stand. I officially declare you 2021 graduates of Chelsea High School. You may move your tassels to the left. Congratulations, Chelsea High School 2021 graduates. And will the audience also please stand as our senior vocal ensemble leads us in our alma mater. Y'all fight through the tears, guys, and make it happen. Here we go. slap it on there, man. You're good.